Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, everyone. Welcome to the Shout Out Show with Preacher Moss. And guess what? I am not Preacher Moss. I am the consulting producer, Sutanah Whitefield, Sister Sutanah. And Preacher is actually on location out of town at an event. So he sends his salams. But then, this afternoon he was like, hey, guess what? Can you, do a host of the show? And I'm like, so I am here. And so bear with me and, welcome. So, as we normally do, again, this is a shout out show. We run daily, on this platform, Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So welcome to everyone. Welcome to all the new folks who are just joining us and discovered us. Before I, get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, share, all the channels that we have, and definitely come back. And then, of course, welcome to all our, as Preacher calls them, shout out warriors or shout out show warriors who actually are with us, daily. So with that, I am going to look up I'm going to put my glasses on for the rest of the contact. Okay. So want to give a shout out to Ree, who is always on the show. And say hello to you. So as Preacher would say, Ree is our the dietitian for him, because he actually gets her food. So just wanted to say thank you to her, and there we go. And then who else? And Ree, I think this is your other account, right? Okay. Welcome again. Sister Jasmine Fruits, who is actually from the UK, welcome. And wa alaikum assalam. Thank you. Sister Aika, who joins us from all the way from Indonesia, welcome, Sister Aika. And before I forget, this Sunday is daylight savings time in this country, so we're going to switch back like an hour, so the time will change. So just keep that in mind, like for the Sunday show, I believe. All right. Sakina, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Glad to see you in the show. And thanks for joining. And Brother Ataf, yay, Brother Ataf is all the way from Canada. And thank you for, attending. And, again, as Preacher says, you don't need a passport to come here. And again, you'll see that we do have, all types of international, watchers or viewers from the show. So anyone can join anytime. Just come on board. So, all right. So this today, again, I said, so like this afternoon. So, Preacher's like, can you, host the show? And I'm just like, okay. So, I kind of am throwing out a topic, but I am going to need everyone's help on this. So the topic is actually just, is International Women's Month. And even Altaf had brought it up yesterday. So I'm like, okay, let me just, he just reminded us. So, March is International Women's History Month, and so it celebrates of course, the history of women. So it started, I would say, in 1980 in the U.S. And it's just to celebrate, women's and the achievements of women. And so what I want to do, and then it became, of course, international, right? So that's why we call it International History Month. So then I believe in 1987 it became international. And so what I want to do, and again, like I said, I'm going to need everyone's help. So I want you all to put in the comments someone you want to shout out, but not only that you want to shout out, but someone that, give a little brief history, and we can kind of talk through it. I'm going to try and, talk through some of the first, or some women, that have done some of the first, in this country. But in the meantime, I don't care, if it's your mom, your sister, your aunt, put it down there, put their name down there, put a little bit about them, and then we'll just do a shout out to them. Okay. All right. So again, bear with me. So again, Women's History Month is, it was signed um, into to into existence in 1980 by former President Jimmy Carter here in the U.S. And so again, it was to celebrate and praise the accomplishment of women, right? And so we know that women are the backbone of a lot of things that happen, and so we definitely want to praise that. And so then um, and then this is just not only current, and a lot of the women I probably will talk about will be like kind of the contemporary. There are so many that we can can talk about. So I'm going to bring this up. Sister Jasmine said it's really huge here, or big here in the UK. And so Sister Jasmine, maybe you can talk about some of the women on the UK front who have been, important in that respect. So looking for everyone's input. Walaikum assalam, brother JT. So JT, your brother, told me at this afternoon, hey, I need for you to host a show. So that's your brother. So so today's topic is going to be on women, celebrating women for Women's History Month. So again, if you want to shout out any women in your life, wife, mom, sibling, sister, what have just do that, okay? And then just give me a little bit of description about it so we can go ahead and shout them out. All right, thanks, cool. All right, so some of the, I'll guess, I'm gonna say okay, well, I gotta shout out my mom. Okay, Mom, Cece Lois, how are you? Gotta shout you out. She is an educator. She is a mom of 8. Yes, it's eight of us, definitely. Of course, a wife. Her and my parents have been married for over 50 years, right? But then we're ooh, Walaikum assalam, brother Enrique Rashid, Imam Enrique Rashid, who's also in Indonesia, right? He moved. So Sister Aika, who's also on the line, she joins us regularly, and she is also from Indonesia. So great, we have some international guests, and of course, brother Enrique. Oh, congratulations! I saw that you just had a new grandbaby. So alhamdulillah, congratulations. Okay, to Aida. So alhamdulillah. And so again, getting back to my mom, just again, she's an educator and mom of 8, a wife, and so she's just an all around community advocate. So just praising her for for Women's History Month. All right, Sister Jasmine said all communities celebrate locally. Multicultural, fun days, events, presentations, etc. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and I would say that there are some, of course, national and local events. This year, I'm sure it's socially distancing, and mostly online, right? And so, there are, local events. I know even like the community, I've seen a lot of online events, even within the community. And so, yes, it does. It is certainly, there is a celebration here as well. And I'm looking for all your comments, of course. So give me some people that I need to shout out. All right. Awesome sauce. All right, so I'm gonna kind of go through, some women that, just are within kind of the fabric of the United States. Again, I know that there are more women, but again, please. So now that we're talking about, elections and, politics are really in kind of been in the forefront for the last, few months, actually more than that. But and not to take away from, many of the first, but one of the first women, um, you know, who was elected to the United States Congress, and actually the first Black woman to run for president was Shirley Chisholm, right? And so she, again, made history, in that space, and she actually was, actually on this platform in the presidential election, in the presidential a space presidential election, and so she is one of the people who's on top of my list. And I really wish I could show you some video, but I'm not set up to do that, so maybe we can do it for another time. Let's see some other people, and then going into that, let's just continue with some political. So of course we know that I got to bring up Michelle Obama, right? So Michelle Obama was, of course, the first um, um, you know, the first lady, right? And of course, supporting, President Barack Obama. So we do have to give props to Michelle Obama. But Michelle Obama, in her own right, she was a lawyer, mom, and so there are many programs that she, enacted even when she was in office, that are still in existence today. So we have to give her props as well. So our dear brother Johnny L. Thomas says that he wants to give a shout out to all of the beautiful Black women in my life, my wife, my mother, sister, aunts, cousins, sister-in-laws, etc. That is all awesome. And yes, let's give them a shout out and peace and blessings upon all of them. And that's so awesome. Thank you, Brother Johnny Thomas. So then also Kamala Harris, right? VP. She is like, again, another the first Black, Jamaican and South Asian Indian descent, to hold a vice presidential, a U.S. vice presidential spot. So that is super historic, and in this election. So, congratulations to them. Let's see. Who else, people? Who else? Okay, so let's talk through, there are I guess like the normal, I shouldn't say the normal, but the everyday that we do know about. We have the Rosa Parks, who was very instrumental in the civil rights movement. But even there were, even behind that, she worked with the NAACP. And so even, with that, there was a whole, you know, I would say there were other people involved in that, but I know she was kind of the front person for that movement. So there's a whole, narrative around that. Oh yes, I got to do this. Thank you, Sister Jasmine Fruits. A big, big, big shout out to our super sister Mary Moss. This is Preacher Moss's mom, and not sure if she's watching, but Assalamu alaikum. And thank you, Sister Jasmine, for that. We definitely have to shout her out. And then, of course, we know we hear about Sister Eleanor. We got to shout Sister Eleanor out. And then, of course, Sister, what else do we have? It'll come to me. All right. So, but thank you, Sister Jasmine. Sister Sakina, shout out to her mom, Sister Rashida Ali. So she's an educator, a mother of six, and a lot of grandchildren, a wonderful supporter of us all and more. So Sister Rashida Ali, we're shouting you out, and thank you for everything, and thank you, Sister Sakina. Okay, and I need to give a shout out to, we need to give a shout out to Be Financial. Shout out to her. She is in finance. And she actually is one of our sponsors. So Be Financial, you can see the banner that's running across. Yeah, so it's Be Financial, BeFinancialIndependent.com, or call her at 800-679-3175. So you can see the banner that's running across there as well. Okay, so thank you for your shout out. You can give more, Okay, so then who else? Of course, there is, and again, I'm just kind of, glossing over, not giving too much not going into a lot of detail, but just, just highlighting some of the women that are, have made impact in, have made some major impacts. We know Harriet Tubman, so everyone talks about Harriet Tubman, right? And so we know that she, was basically and it's really amazing, an amazing story. We know her as, kind of this guy who actually led a lot of, slaves from, plantation wise to freedom, as that's the whole. And so through this underground railroad system. But what some of the things that are not talked about is that, she was a nurse who worked for the army, right? And so she had an understanding of how to navigate and use what she knew to guide a lot of guide people through the Underground Railroad. So that's, there's so much that can be the whole narrative around Harriet Tubman. So yes. Let's see, who's this? Okay, all right. Let's see, who else? Um, okay, Bessie Coleman. So Bessie Coleman was one of the first in flight, right? And she was she sorted her way through like the skies, right? That's kind of the narrative for her. And she was actually one of the first Native American. And I know we talk about she had Native American descent and African American descent. So she was actually one of the first ones to known pilots. And so she worked for, kind of the carnivals and things like that. But she was actually one of the one that first soared across the skies. All right. Let's see. Anybody else? I'm looking for you all to kind of shout out people. So keep them coming for me. All right. Let's see. Who else can we talk about? Well, I'm gonna actually also shout out even, family on my side. So I have to shout out my grandmothers, right? My dad's mom, I want to give her a shout out, although she's no longer with us. And my mom's mom, and she's no longer with us, but definitely, peace and blessings on them as well. All right. Okay. Let's see. So there was another woman that I want to talk about. Her name was Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler, and she was actually, and she was, she lived from the 1831 to 1895, and she was actually one of the first Black doctors of medicine. And this was actually, if you think about it, this was, as I said, this was like 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation that was issued, right? And so she was, in a sense, kind of still in the era of enslaved people in America, but and so this is like 2 years after that, and so then, so seeing some of the I guess the inequities around medicine for Blacks at that time, right? She actually decided she wanted to be, get into medicine. So she happened to be born a free Black woman. She went to school in Richmond, Virginia, and she actually decided um, she decided to actually decide to go to school and become a doctor. Okay, and did I have that? Okay, yes. All right, and thank you. And this is Mary Moss. I want to give a shout out to her and Sister Jasmine Fruits. I don't know if you were on a little bit earlier. She gave a shout out to you, Sister Mary. So welcome, of course. But we're doing Women's History Month, and so we're just shouting out women. And so you were one of the shout outs, but shout out to me as well. Thank you. And I want to shout out all my sisters who are out there, watching and not watching, but awesome. Sister Jasmine said, Sister Jasmine said, Oprah. Of course, and if anyone saw that interview with Oprah, oh my gosh, that I think Preacher went into a little bit yesterday, on the interview or some of the things about the interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. But of course, Oprah in her own right, she's been kind of in that entertainment, that world, and even journalism for quite some time, and so she's really made her mark. And she's had her history as well, even coming up, and all the struggles that she's gone through, and so she's just remarkable as well. Okay, Aunt Maxine. I just talked about Be Financial, so Aunt Maxine here. Thank you, Aunt Maxine. Let's shout out you as well. Thank you so much. This was last minute, so I'm just kind of pulling together. Yay! Thank you, though. My dear friend Coffee. Hey, hey, Coffee. So, Coffee, welcome to the show, and we're doing a show on Women's History Month. So, if you have a woman in your life, your mom, your sister, put their name down in the comment section. Tell us a little bit about them, and we'll shout them out. Okay? But thanks for coming. And let's see. Sister Jasmine said her jaw drop pose. Oh, look who just jumped in.
Yeah.
Hey, Preacher Moss.
Assalamualaikum. We just finished.
Walaikum assalam.
My name is Turgut. I am from Turkey.
Welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
You are live. Okay, the Preacher
I just listened to my brother. He's so impressed and affected me, and now I'm trying to introduce with him. Okay, for what we will talk for future project.
Inshallah.
Awesome.
US,
Yeah.
South Africa and Turkey.
Oh, I've been to Turkey.
Oh, that would be so awesome. Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm just speaking in. I hope everything's good. Look like you got good comments. You don't need me. Can I have Michelle back?
Come on in.
Can I have Michelle back? Thank you, brother.
So you can sure you can. You know what? So we did say Preacher was on site, so that's why he's all masked up, because he's out and about on site. On a and he's about to go on. I'm sure, or in the middle of something. So yeah. Any words? So Preacher, we were just kind of talking through some Women's History Month. So we shout out your mom, we shout out your aunt. You want to shout out anyone while we're here?
And I'm blessed. I'm blessed here in Gainesville. The people are awesome. The students put together a really good program, and
Awesome.
I literally haven't been on stage about a year, live show. So
Is that crazy? Wow.
So I hope they
Wow.
laugh. Brother, did they laugh a little bit? Did the people laugh a little bit?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Wow. And so are you all socially distancing? How is that? Was it indoors or outdoors?
It's indoors, but it's like, I think I could show you. You see the difference. Hold on, man.
Okay. So Lorna says, or he says, be safe, big brother.
Well, I appreciate it. Everybody enjoy the show. Thank you so much, Sutanah, for all that you do and making this happen. I appreciate you. And like I told everybody, you're a star. You are a star. So, I turned it over to more than capable hands. And we just appreciate
3
you
hours
stepping in.
to prep. With
Like I
3,
said,
with 3 hours to prep, but okay. We're thank you.
what? In the end, you got it done. In the end, you got it done, and people
Uh-huh.
enjoy it. So that's all. That's all we could do. Look at
Yes.
Sister Jasmine talking about Oprah. All right, all right. So listen, you keep doing what you're doing. Everybody, thank you for coming on the show. I'm out because this is your show.
Oh
I'm just,
no. I mean,
I'm just
show us where you're at.
I'm in I'm in the basketball arena for
Yeah.
University of Florida,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and you can see uh, University of Florida.
Yeah.
The, but
Okay.
this is a fastathon, so it's
Cool.
pretty it's pretty cool.
All right. So you all about to break fast, I'm sure. So
Yeah, I'm gonna pop back into the program and be supportive. I just wanted to come check on my sister. I know I ain't have to, but I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. You got it
glad
in
you did.
control. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, it's everyone who's on
All
the show is like, Coffee said, let's see the setup in the room.
right. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I got to turn my volume down so you
Okay.
guys can see it.
All
I
right.
know they're talking. Hold on a minute.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's on the court. Okay.
Thank you to Mile for all of their hard work and dedication to the Gainesville community. Up next, I would
It's
like
pretty
to
good
call
set
on
up.
Bruce Mark to speak on behalf of Southern.
So they're doing it. This was COVID. That's awesome.
Gotcha. Your mom said, "Be safe. Traveling mercies."
Yeah, I call her on the way home from the show. Inshallah.
So, Coffee said, "Okay, thanks for showing us that."
There you go. There you go. Keep
All
doing
right.
it. Okay, next we'll have to talk about the Satana show.
Uh,
Oh, Satana Whitfield. We'll take it
rah.
from Whitfield
Susanna
to
Winfrey.
Winfrey. Whitfield for Winfrey.
Winfrey.
All right,
Right. All right.
I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. I'll
All
give you
right.
a
Safe
call over later.
travels.
All right.
Walaikum
Assalamu
salam
alaikum
wa
wa rahmatullahi
rahmatullah.
wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, that was a great interrupt. A good interrupt, right? We got to see where your brother preacher is at. So and thank you, Coffee. Shout out to me. Thank you so much. All the selfless hard work and dedication to our community. Oh, so welcome and alhamdulillah. So we are kind of at time. Is there anyone like last minute want to shout out real quick? Going once, going twice. Okay. So just again, shout out to our sponsor, BeFinanciallyIndependent.com, 800-679-3175. I hope I got that right. But you can see the banner that's scrolling down, below. So please, reach out. And thank everyone. It's like I said, I had a few hours to prepare, but thank you so much for your participation. And today I totally appreciate it. And hopefully Preacher will be back tomorrow. You will have the shout out show with Preacher Moss. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, and have a good night. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, Sister Jasmine. Wait. Thank you, Sister Jasmine. Thank you, Brother Johnny, Thomas, JT. Thank you, Sister Sakina. Thank you, Coffee. All right, anything outro?
Hey everybody, this is your brother Preacher Moss. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your shout out show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next shout out show. A simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from Hiatus. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out Hiatus.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.